I'm Manuel Hernandez and welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. Hope you're all doing well. Predicted XI today in today's video. Norwich versus Leicester. Be careful, it's not on a Saturday, it's Friday night kickoff under the lights at Carrow Road. Gutted I can't get there due to work. However, I'm going to be going to the game after, and that's Tottenham away in the last 16 of the FA Cup. A chance for Norwich City to get really far in the FA Cup for the first time in decades. I'm going to be going to that game, and it's going to be a fantastic, fantastic game. 9,000 Norwich fans marching to the capital. So really looking forward to that game against Tottenham. But Norwich City first have to turn their attentions to the Premier League, which they still have to, it still kind of has to be seen as a priority. Although I'd love an FA Cup run. And I want us to get really far in the FA Cup, obviously. But Norwich City in the Premier League, 11 games to go, 18 points, 7 points off safety. It's going to be a tough one. And in last weekend's Premier League matches, all the relegation threatened teams played away. The results went Norwich's way. Only Brighton managed to get a point. But of course, Norwich were terrible against Wolves. In this game week, pretty much all the relegation teams, apart from Aston Villa, whose game is going to be rescheduled, play at home. So it could be a pivotal day in the Premier League at the bottom of the table for Norwich City. But looking at the team, I'm going to be talking about what team I think we should play, and obviously reflecting on the Wolves game as well. Tim Krul in goal, my player of the season. He was the only player who came out of Wolves with any credibility, really, after that performance, in my opinion. Right back, Max Aarons. He struggled, didn't he, against Wolves? Been really impressed with Max, actually, but he definitely struggled. And it's a really interesting topic when you look at our back line of Max, Ben Godfrey and Jamal Lewis. Obviously, they're all really, really good defenders in their own right. However, and they're obviously going to be going for big transfer fees when they leave Norwich. But really, how much quality do they actually have? Are they good enough yet to keep a team up in the Premier League? Centre-backs, Ben Godfrey and Christoph Zimmermann if back. If Christoph Zimmermann is not back, I would obviously play Grant Hanley. I mean, he's the only defender we've got. Didn't particularly like the Ben Godfrey, Grant Hanley trio. I've been impressed with Grant, but Christoph Zimmermann, we tend to defend better as a team when he's there. And Jamal Lewis, left back. He's a really, really good left back. Really, really impressed with him, although against Wolves he did struggle. The central defensive midfield, now this is where things get interesting. Of course, for me, Alex Tettey has to play. A fantastic defensive midfielder. He manages to keep it up at this level. And you've got an interesting option. But Norwich City have not scored an open play goal in 6. Failed to score against Wolves, Liverpool, which you can understand. Newcastle away, Duda had a brilliant chance to score in that game, as did Pukki. Bournemouth and Tottenham were both penalties, and Man United we lost 4-0. So we're really struggling to score goals from open play. We're not creating as many chances as we were at the start of the season, so that's why I think our team needs a rethink. Mario Rancic for me has to come in the Championship. I mean, Daniel Farke has his favourites, let's be honest. We sometimes forget last season, Kenny McLean was injured for the first half of the season, and then from January onwards, Kenny McLean practically played every game. From then to the end of the season, and he's played most games in the Premier League. Tettey played most of the games in the Championship in the first half, and then Tribal in the second half. Mario Rancic was never really Daniel Farke's favourite. He'd play here and there, but Mario Rancic is someone who can always have an impact on the field, and he scored so many pivotal goals. Let's not forget his contribution against Leeds. He's a fantastic player, and he has to start alongside Tettey, in my opinion. On the left, Todd Cantwell hasn't particularly been too impressive away from home, but he's away from home, but at home, that's where most of his impressive performances come. I think all of his goals, have come at Carrow Road. An excellent talent. On the right, Emi Buendia has to come in. Lucas Ruplik, he's a fine player, don't get me wrong, but Emi Buendia has created the second most chances in the league. There's a really interesting saga between him and Daniel Farke at the moment. I don't know why Daniel Farke would call Emi Buendia out on it. I think earlier in the season, obviously, Daniel Farke and Mo Leitner had a disagreement, and Mo Leitner has been frozen out of the side ever since. And that didn't really go public. There's definitely things going on behind the scenes. You know, some rumours Mo Leitner criticised Farke for his substitutions, but that kind of stayed behind the scenes. I don't know why Farke is particularly calling out Emi in the press conference, saying he needs to do more. Add more goals, saying that when he plays we've got the lowest points ratio. He's created the second most chances in the league, and if the player who's created the second most chances in the league, only behind Kevin De Bruyne, can't get into a team who's bottom of the league, then there's some serious concerns going on. And central attacking midfield, I was impressed by Duda's first game, but I don't think he's been up to the level since, and I would actually play Marco Stuperman and bring him back. look, Marcus Sheeperman played when we beat Manchester City, played when we beat Newcastle earlier in the season. That Marcus Sheeperman and Pukki seem to have a good combination. Teemu Pukki definitely seems to play better when Marcus Sheeperman's in the team. I think sometimes Pukki is relied upon to do the physical work when Sheeperman's not in the team. So I think Sheeperman gets the best out of Pukki, and I'd like to see Sheeperman come back in the team and see possibly what he can do. And Teemu Pukki up front, who's doing okay, but the goals just aren't quite coming through him at the moment. So that's my team to play Leicester. It's going to be a tough game. Leicester in third in the table, but Maddison and Jamie Vardy are slightly out of form. Knowing Norwich, they're probably going to both score in this game, but Vardy, Maddison out of form. Leicester aren't hitting the high notes they were earlier on in the season, and if Norwich City can replicate the performance at Carrow Road a couple of weeks ago against Liverpool, they definitely stand a chance of getting something out of this game. I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw with Pukki to get back on the team sheet. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section. Yeah, big game coming up. 8 o'clock under the lights at Carrow Road. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And yes, Tottenham Wednesday night is going to be a really, really interesting one. Thank you. Subscribe to Norwich City Central, and I'll see you later.